Devam Sharanam Gacchami.
Dear young learners, parents and teachers, millions today are walking together on the road of education towards a new era of hope, progress and dignity, equipping themselves to face the uncertainties of the future and the challenges of the present. Education means to draw out what is already within. Thus, education begins with the sacred promise that each human soul is gifted with innate potential that it would uncover in the course of its sojourn on the planet. Total education, therefore, serves a twofold purpose. It helps discover, not invent, but discover the latent power and majesty of every individual spirit, so they could work to fulfill their destinies in the larger scheme of things. Secondly, education is one of the most powerful tools that has the power to alleviate the teeming millions from their deplorable living conditions, poverty, and help in creating material prosperity and dignity. Let every desperate teacher, struggling student, and parent remember that no child is born with an inferior gift. Every child is different and uniquely endowed in the garden of life. To compare one with the other is a crime. When you compare one child with a fellow student, her brother or sister, you hurt not only the one who's getting dispirited, but also the one who suffers from superiority. Without knowing it, you are sowing seeds of animosity, ill will, and envy in their young minds. These young children, when they grow up into adults, would develop a mental addiction to comparison. Comparison would not just stop with measuring one's talent against another, but it would extend into all spheres of life. They would begin to measure their wife or husband with another, their financial position with the other, their relationship with the other. Ultimately, they lose the ability to experience and enjoy life as it is. Theirs becomes a second-hand experience, always edged out between the momentary pleasure of having overtaken someone and the immediate disillusionment of finding someone placed better. Dear parent, is this the kind of future you are envisioning for your child? Dear teacher, is this the kind of world you would like to see? Dear student, would you like to carve out such deprived and tormenting emotional tomorrows for yourself? Comparison has perhaps made you into an ambitious person, but has it not taken away the sensitivity of love and intelligence from your lives? Has it not made you more separate from the other? Have you not become someone who envies another's success instead of enjoying it? If you have been fortunate in having parents and teachers who brought you up with an abundance of acceptance and love, then pass on your legacy to your child also. If not, let not history repeat itself. Bring forth the strength of affection from the depths of your heart. Become conscious of the temptation to compare, and you would very naturally abstain from it. No matter how many examples society might offer you of people who rose to power and position on the strength of comparison, envy and hate and what is hurting is always wrong, and one must keep away from it. Let us now take a look at what comparison does to efficiency. Sustained efficiency comes from intelligence, and comparison leads to failure of intelligence. When the educator and the parent compare one student with another, the student develops inferiority and loses self-worth. The student cultivates self-hatred, which in turn unleashes the destructive tendencies within. If, however, you want to lead your child to excellence, there are two steps you need to take. Firstly, accept your child as he or she is. Secondly, inspire the child with great stories and great examples, but never through a thoughtless act of comparison. A great story or an example becomes a map in your child's consciousness, which he will follow in moments of crisis or confusion. Remember, every child has its own individual rhythm of learning and growing. Discover it and go with the child.
As a girl, or as my youth, when taken into consideration, I was a very scary girl with a lot of hurt feelings and feelings of rejections. So I had belief in God, but then I didn't know how to relate to God. So there was one of my friends who introduced me to Sri Amma Bhagavan, and then I took up a course, Breakthrough, and the Breakthrough course has changed my internal feelings to the maximum, I can tell. I have a freedom within, I have happiness within me, and then it is marvelous experience after the Breakthrough course. I'm grateful to Sri Amma and Bhagavan always. And one more small experience is that I wanted to enroll for PhD course, and then somehow hurdles happened, and then there was a time when I didn't have opening towards PhD at all. So all of a sudden I went for Bhagavan's darshan, and I asked Bhagavan, I want to do my PhD. Bhagavan said, okay, you will do it. Then he introduced me to a marvelous guide, and now I have registered myself in Dravidian University to do my PhD. So all the credit and my success goes to Sri Amma and Bhagavan.
I am working in a company called as Jubilant Biosis. It's a drug discovery company. I was taking care of system administration there. At some point of time, all the members in my team left the company, and they left in a state where the network was completely in a mess. I didn't know what to do, where to start, what to do. At that point of a time, the only support what I had was Amma and Bhagavan. Every day I used to land up in a problem at night, and I was never able to solve any problem. I used to leave and go back home. And in the morning I used to pray to Amma and Bhagavan, saying only one word, Bhagavan, Amma. I was not able to do anything last night, and I don't know what state the network is going to be today. Please help me sort it out. That was the only prayer I used to say, and I used to come to office. The next day I used to come to office. It so happened that everything was set right, without knowing to me. No complaints, nothing. It was functioning as smooth as a stabilized network. Then there was a big client project which came our way in the company, and the implementation has to be done by me. That project which came in was a project which was not known to me. I didn't have any clue about the project, not even a single technology. It so happened that the client wanted to implement this at the earliest. I tried all day, all the tricks in the book, contacted support functions, nothing worked. During that point of a time, when I was working on something, I prayed to the Lord, asking that, Lord, I am stuck in between. I have no solutions to go further. Please help me out in this point of a time. There was a small voice that came in deep into me saying that, go out and come back. So I just went out, refreshed myself, and I was coming back to the place of my workstation. There was a small answer saying that this parameter change can make a difference. The only change I made was that this parameter which came internally to me. And from that till date, it's almost more than 1.5 years. The system has never failed and it's working efficiently.
Recently, I slipped from the staircase and I had a severe backache. I consulted many doctors, but it was in vain. Finally, I came across this Arogya Diksha through my husband, and I attended Arogya Diksha in the month of May. Really, the course was really amazing, and really I'm speechless what to express and what not to. We went through a process wherein we came to know what are the psychological reasons for getting a pain or an illness. It's not just like that it comes into. Just because of the suppressed emotions that we have in our body, it leads to an illness. I came to know many of my suppressed feelings and the psychological suffering that I had, which led to the backache that I've got now. Due to this backache, I was unable to sit, I was unable to walk, and I was unable to do many of my activities, and literally I was bedridden for 1.5 months. So, through this Diksha, I came to know that it liberates us from all the sufferings that we have in our mind and in our body. And one of the mystical experience that I have got is, see, I got a mystical experience of Amma taking me as a child on her lap and Bhagavan pampering me and telling me that you are my girl, you are my baby. Really, what else a human being needs when the Lords accept them as a child? This is really mystical. This is really magical that I felt. And during the process, I felt somebody pulling my nerves at my feet heavily when I was into the process. And after that, I found out literally my backache is no more. I am relieved from backache. Now I am able to sit, do my activities and jump like a child. What more a person needs when he is liberated from physical illness?
The open free courts organized by oneness in the village of Nelavai Chittoor district helped to resolve legal cases of the villagers that were pending over the years. They were attended by the Chittoor Judge Venkataramana Reddy, Rajkumar, in charge Secretary of District Legal Service Authority, and the Satyavedu Magistrate Subha Reddy. The Honorable Justice of Andhra Pradesh High Court, Ishwaraya Garu, was also present during the entire proceedings. Oneness had organized a book distribution program of worth 1.5 million for more than 19,000 students from 198 schools of the surrounding villages of Varadayapalem. Educational aid worth 40,000 per month has been extended towards these children, providing them with daily tuition classes. There are night schools also made available to enthusiastic and passionate learners to help themselves. These educational services that have been extended over these years has impacted innumerable lives in the 200 surrounding villages of Varadayapalem. It has brought about an awareness of better living conditions and the need to keep oneself literate.
For me to be a successful engineer today in IBM, the reason is the Oneness University. Before I could go and attend a course in the Oneness University, I was a person with more of confusion, conflict, not independent in taking a decision. Always I used to depend on my colleagues to get the work done. Always I used to depend on my friends in my studies, which I always used to struggle in achieving the success, and always I dreamt to be a very successful in my studies, which never happened. I used to put all my efforts, but it was always a futile in my attempts. Parallelly, even I had a very strained relationship with my father, where I never accepted the way he was, the way he used to behave, because I used to have an ideal father in my mind, where I always used to see my father should behave like this and my father should be like this. Why can't my father be like this? Always there was a question within me, which I never got an answer why my father is so, where I never accepted that natural. Fortunately, I happened to be in the Oneness University to attend one of the youth course over here. In duration of this course, I had to undergo a Diksha process. After the Diksha process, it was a very natural phenomena in me happening, where I could accept my father. I could see that a causeless love for him. I was waiting to go and hug my father, which was a very natural. I didn't know why, how it is. I never knew. And after coming back, I used to wonder in my workplace where I could do a very better way. My potential had increased. I used to be independent in my work, which was appreciated by my seniors. The potential had raised to such a level where I could do a job of even a 7-year experience in IT industry, whereas now I'm just a 4-year experience in an IT. That was really shocking for me, that because the confidence and what I had, the self-esteem, like it was elevated to a high level. I think my consciousness was elevated to a high level, where my potential had raised to do the work of very, very efficient and with more accurate and in a short span of time. That was a great achievement, a milestone achieved in my life and in my career. And accepting my father was a very natural. Today I'm so happy with my father, the way he is. He hasn't changed, that there is so much of joy within me, where I can just hug him, I can kiss him, I can go, I can hold him, I can support him. It has just been a natural happening in this Oneness University. I'm very grateful to Amma and Bhagavan for bestowing me such a blessing to me, to really to live my life fully and completely.